Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'm going to attempt to do a demonstration of how to play Beverly Craven's Promise Me. Now just to remind you, this is not going to be perfectly accurate to the song because I play by ear. It's just my interpretation of how to play it. So I'm not a pianist, I don't read music. If this is wrong and you know better, feel free to share those comments down below. So if I state the wrong chord name, I apologise, but I believe this is a C minor. Then it goes into what I believe is a B flat over a C bass. Then it goes into what I believe is an A flat, all over a C bass, and then back to the B flat. And you repeat that twice, like this. All I'm doing there is basically playing the C chord, C minor chord that is, because this I believe is the third, and you drop it by a semitone and it makes it C minor. I'm using the knowledge I've picked up off YouTube to try and explain what these chords are. So again, if they are wrong and I'm saying it wrong, tell me in the comments down below. Educate me along the way. So that's your introduction. And then I just play the bass as an octave with that chord again. Okay, I realise I just played that wrong, by the way, in that I followed it down with the chords, but you stick with the C and the bass. The verse. Okay, so it's what on earth did I play? Well, it's a C minor chord to start with. If you can't reach the octave, you can just play it there. Okay, so it's not, I played it there actually, I think, when I played it. Well, that's wrong, it's actually with the C. So it's an E flat, a G, a C, and an E flat, with an E flat bass. Sorry, with a C bass. And then we're into a full B flat chord here. Okay, play that again. And you're basically playing the same chord. These notes aren't changing, but instead of the B flat bass, you're moving it to a G, which I think when I looked online, it said that's something like a G minor 7 or something, but again, I could be wrong. So play that again. And that goes then to an A flat. So it's A flat octave bass. And then you play the chord again, and then followed by a B flat chord. And then you're back to the C minor. Okay, so that again, that together. Play that properly. You're back to that same chord again, and you're going to repeat pretty much the same thing, the same chord progression anyway, for the next part of the verse. But we're just moving it up, so the B flat's now being played here. Then we've got the same G minor 7 or whatever it is, if I can remember how you play that chord. Bear with me. That's the full chord. So it's the G in the bass, B flat, D, F and B flat, and we're just playing. And then to the A, I think it's an A flat here. Well, I play it like this with an A flat, a C and a G there. So just to complete that first part of the verse again. Can't remember what I play. This is the problem when you play it slow. If you play by ear, it can trip you up, so bear with me. No. See if I can actually play that without making a mistake. Okay, you get the idea. I can't actually play the whole piece without making a mistake. I've not done it all the way through without messing it up once, but anyway, hopefully I can at least give you enough information so you can play it better than me. Next part. What am I playing there? It's a C bass. I think this is classed as C minor effectively. So this is back to that G minor chord again, the G minor 7 I think. Then back to the A flat. It's really hard for me to put these videos together. I realise kudos to all these people that put the tutorials out there, because it's harder than you think. One thing to play it, it's another to tell someone else how to play it. So again. Okay. How do I play it? Come on, we'll get it. Yeah, it's definitely that chord, I think. I think that sounds better personally. Tell me what you think. That's an E flat chord over an F I'm playing. That's an A flat chord. Okay, again. And then we've got this. That's an F minor chord. So we've finished here previously, and I'm going to play G minor chord. We're just moving it all up one from here. So I'm rolling this, it's a C, a G and a C, and a G and a C here. So let's have a go and see if I can impress myself even, and actually play this from the beginning up to there. Are you ready? Okay, so that's up to that part. That wasn't too bad, even for an amateur like me. The next bit is this like fill-in between the two verses, and it's basically the C minor chord here, but the bass changes, so it goes. Okay, C, D, E flat, G, A flat. And in the right hand, you're just going to be playing this like you do at the beginning. So. But when you move to the A flat, you change to an A flat in the right hand. So it's just moving this note to here. So. And then we go G in the bass, but it's F, G, B, D. Okay. And then we repeat the first verse again. Okay. And here we go. In the bass. And then we move very quickly from that chord to a G down here with it over a B. Okay. So it starts on a B bass. It's still same with a G chord, but it's B. And then we go to a C because it goes to C minor. Okay. Full speed. Then we're going to go here, so it's a C chord in the right hand, and I like to roll it over an E bass. So it's repeating the same kind of pattern that you just did with the G chord, but this time we're doing it from the C chord. So we're going E, C in the bass, and then we to F minor. Okay. Right, so I roll this again. So at some point you're going to walk from the D flat to the E flat. So and then we're into the verse. All right. So let's try and pick that up from here. this bit and see if we can play the second verse into that. Are you ready? So now we're into the actual chorus, and this is an A flat, and again I'm just rolling the bass. Okay, so it's that's a C minor chord, and if you can't reach it like this, you can always just play it here, and you can forget this other G. Okay, promise me you'll wait for me, 'cause so here we're playing these two notes over a B bass as we're walking down to the B flat. Okay. Sounds wrong because I played it wrong. Apologies. Do it again. Now we're into this chord. No idea what this chord is. Feel free to tell me, but it's a B flat, a D flat, and an F. Okay. So. And then into an E flat over an E flat bass, E flat chord. Actually that's a C minor the way I'm playing it, isn't it, really? I mean, it becomes an E flat there, but I guess if you were... I don't know. That would be a C minor chord, but it's played there and you change to E flat at that point, so I don't know if it's really an E flat chord, because you're going to go here, which is a full E flat chord, I think. Or if it's your class is a C minor something, I don't know. Again, please tell me in the comments. But and resolves back to the A flat. So and I did just drop in there a D flat chord, didn't I, on the way down here, which I didn't realise I played, but it sounded okay, I think. Tell me what you think. I leave the E there, I think, in the bass, but I'd definitely go. That's what I do. Okay, so I know what I'm doing now when I play it. So we've got the okay, full speed. Messed it up. So here, you can play this as an octave, I guess. I'll show you the single notes. So that's an F and then an E flat over a G bass. and that can be played as a D flat chord if you wish, and then an E flat chord over a G. So it goes how does that sound? All right. As you can see, guys, I'm struggling a little bit with this piece. I know I can play it, but I'm not sure what I'm playing, so bear with me. Yeah, okay. That's what I'm playing. So it's into the second part of the verse. Again, a lot of apologies for the mistakes, but you can see, guys, if you're struggling with this, so am I. You know, it takes practice, and yeah, I kind of figure it out as I go along, and you're along the journey with me. But hopefully you're learning how not to play it as well as how to play it, and you may well make it much better than I can. So let's finish that off now with the second part of the verse, the chorus, and it's a repeat of the same. So you've done this. And that's a repeat of what you did in the first one. But this time you're going to jump to the E in the bass and play a C chord over the top of it. And then we're going to the F minor. So it goes from an F to a D. So play that slowly for you. And then we'll be into this I'll Be Home part. Okay, so it's D flat in the bass with a D flat chord, with a C finishing. And then we play the same again over an E flat. And then we resolve it with a full A flat chord. Alright. Would you like me to play that up to that little piece? I'm sure you would. I'm sure I'd like to be able to play it as well. Let's give it a go. Now we're into the beginning of the instrumental. Okay. That's the beginning. So we resolve to the A flat. We're up here now. So this is, I don't know what the chords are, but anyway, it's. All right. I don't actually know that there's an exact way to play this instrumental piece. I've heard it played by Beverly herself in many different ways other than what it sounds like on the soundtrack. So the way I'm choosing to play it is what sounds right to me, but you're welcome to change it. I think this part is a C minor. Okay. So all that's played as a C minor, I think. That's some kind of B flat chord. Well, I'm just playing with that. And that's that G minor 7 thing that they played earlier, I believe, because we're using the F, and I think that's the 7. Resolve into an A flat. Okay. So I'm playing A flat and then playing it again here with the roll, because we're then going to go in the bass, so it's an A flat, B flat. And we're back to this piece that we played earlier, which is the G over the B. And that's just a repeat of what we played earlier. And then repeat everything you've learned up to this point. If you can play that well, better than me, you can play the whole song. Okay, so it's. Back to the verse. finish it off however you like. So it's not the brilliant tutorial, I'm sure, and I'm sure there's many out there that you could probably follow if you read music, and you'll be able to play it way better than me. But if you want to play by ear and you want to use this kind of tutorial to help you play things like this, please give this a thumbs up. If you know how to play it better than me, tell me in the comments. I'm really open to the criticism. I just want to improve my own piano skills as well. But I can't read music, and I will say ahead of time, I have no intention of learning to read music either. I just know what I know from what I pick up either from friends or on YouTube. So thank you so much for watching this tutorial video of a kind on Beverly Craven's Promise Me. I'll see you in the next one. Ta-da for now.